Imagine driving down a lonely Florida highway at night. The air is heavy, the road stretches endlessly, and a woman stands by the roadside. Thumb out, eyes wild, offering a smile that doesn't quite reach her soul. You pull over. You think she's just another drifter, maybe a hitchhiker, maybe a prostitute. But by the time you realize who she really is, it's already too late. This is the story of Aileen Wuornos, the woman who turned America's highways into hunting grounds, a drifter, a survivor, a killer, and the first female serial killer to dominate American headlines. Before she became a symbol of fear, Aileen Wuornos was a child no one seemed to want. Born in 1956 in Rochester, Michigan, her early life was unstable and lonely. Her parents were gone before she could understand why. Her father imprisoned, her mother leaving soon after. Aileen and her brother were raised by grandparents whose home was filled more with shouting than with comfort. By 11, she had already learned how harsh the world could be. By her mid-teens, she found herself completely on her own, living outdoors, taking shelter wherever she could, trying to survive in a world that had never been kind to her. She drifted from place to place, Michigan, Colorado, Arizona, and finally Florida, a state that would become both her refuge and her downfall. It was there, under the endless sun and long stretches of highway, that the young woman who longed for love began to lose faith in ever finding it. In 1989, Aileen Wuornos was 33 years old. She was living in motels, working truck stops, and hustling men on the roadside to survive. But something inside her had snapped. Her first known victim was Richard Mallory, a 51-year-old electronics store owner. He picked her up one November night, and 2 days later, his body was found deep in the woods, shot multiple times, stripped of his belongings. When police found his car, Aileen was behind the wheel. She claimed he had raped her, that she had killed him in self-defense. But investigators saw something else, a calculated killing. And then, the bodies kept coming. Over the next 12 months, 7 men would die along Florida's highways, all found shot, all robbed, all linked to a mysterious female hitchhiker. There was David Spears, a construction worker, Charles Carskadden, a part-time rodeo worker, Troy Burris, a sausage salesman, Charles Humphreys, a retired Air Force major and child abuse investigator, Peter Seams, a missionary whose car Aileen later crashed, Walter Antonio, a trucker and police reservist. Each was killed the same way. Multiple gunshots, their cars stolen, their cash gone. To the press, it was sensational. To police, it was systematic. But to Aileen, it was, in her words, revenge on men. During this time, Aileen wasn't alone. She was in love. Her girlfriend, Tyria Moore, was her whole world, the one person she trusted. The two met at a biker bar in Daytona and quickly became inseparable, living together in cheap motels and surviving off Aileen's earnings. Aileen claimed she killed to protect them both, to keep food on the table. But when the law closed in, love turned to betrayal. In early 1991, police tracked the two women to a seedy motel. Tyria was offered a deal: cooperate or face prison herself. In a heartbreaking twist, she agreed to help. Police wired her phone and had her call Aileen. Over 3 days, Aileen broke down on tape. Through tears, she confessed to the murders. Not for justice, not for forgiveness, but to save the woman she loved. "I'm doing this for you," she told her. "I'll confess everything. Just don't get in trouble." By 1992, Aileen Wuornos was the most infamous woman in America. The tabloids called her the highway hooker, monster, and America's first female serial killer. Her trial was a circus. Cameras lined the courtroom, reporters fought for interviews, and their volatile outbursts became TV gold. She shouted at the judge, cursed the jury, and accused the system of betrayal. "I was raped," she screamed, "and they called me a killer." But as the evidence piled up, the stolen cars, the ballistics, the confessions, the truth seemed undeniable. Aileen Wuornos was found guilty of murder and sentenced to death 6 times over. While in prison, she gave bizarre interviews. Some days, she claimed she killed in self-defense. Other days, she said she hated human life and wanted to cleanse the earth. On October 9, 2002, at 9:47 a.m., Aileen Wuornos was executed by lethal injection. She was 46 years old. Her final words were as chilling as her crimes. "I'll be back. Like Independence Day. With Jesus." June 6th. Decades later, Aileen Wuornos remains one of the most controversial figures in true crime history. Was she a product of a cruel system that failed her since birth? A victim of violence who became what she feared most? Or was she a cold-blooded killer who used her trauma as a shield for murder? Some psychologists call her a textbook case of antisocial personality disorder, a woman incapable of empathy, driven by rage. Others say she was pushed past her breaking point by a world that never showed her mercy. Movies, documentaries, and books still debate who Aileen really was. Monster, the 2003 film starring Charlize Theron, tried to humanize her, and it worked. Viewers saw not just a killer, but a broken soul who never stood a chance. But even now, the lines between victim and villain blur. Maybe she was both. Maybe she was neither. The story of Aileen Wuornos is more than just a case file. It's a mirror. It reflects what happens when pain goes unanswered, when a lifetime of abuse boils into hatred, and when society looks away too long. She was born into violence, survived through it, and died by it. Aileen once said, "I killed those men. I did it cold as ice. I'd do it again." But maybe the real tragedy isn't that she killed 7 men. It's that she became everything the world told her she was from the start: worthless, dangerous, and unworthy of love. As the sun sets over Florida's highways, the ghosts of her past still linger, reminders that monsters aren't always born. Sometimes they're made.